Namaste to each one. So today we are going to have our youngest participant coming here and one of my favorite because I've heard many times from people saying that she is my favorite. I always favor her. She started her journey to learn Theta Healing at the age of 8. She came as a rainbow children and probably the youngest entrepreneur also that I know. We all always have the excuses in life, and we all always speak about that how we don't have time because there are so many responsibilities on us, so many things that we require to do it. And it's not that we always require to learn from elders. There are times youngsters comes and teaches us many things in life. So I'm very happy and very proud of her. Very proud of her that she's the one who will actually teach us that no, I mean age is not the bar. Time is never a problem. And the biggest learning that people who really want to do something in life, they never crib about the problem of timing. People who are still wanting to find excuses, they will have thousands reasons not to do things. But if you want to do things, you can not only do one thing, but you can do many things. Not only she developed a product of her own at the age of 13, not only that she started selling it to different shops. She has applied for her own trademark. She handles her own Instagram account from there. She has participated and learned many different forms of dancing. Probably she will tell you to the level now, even for the, I think, composing music, teaching unprivileged children. There are many things along with the studies that she does. So, very happy, very proud to welcome Sanya Shah on the platform here. Sanya, so happy to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me, Sangeeta auntie.
Thank you. And she's the only student who ever people told me that, she is your favorite. You always favor her. And even today I say, yes, I do favor her and she is my favorite student. कृष्ण का एक ही अर्जुन हो सकता है, सो अर्जुन नहीं हो सकते. कृष्णा may love all of them equally. But at the same time, Arjun, though there is only one. So, Sanya, is so happy to have you here. And you're the youngest one who will be inspiring many of us. Yeah.
I
So,
really hope it.
thank you. Let us start today's session with a prayer from Sanya.
Okay, so if everyone would just close their eyes for like a minute, I think I'd like to go and introduce a prayer that I really believe in. Thank you, Creator, for this body. Thank you for the energy with which it works. Thank you for the divinity within me. And thank you for the fabric of love and light with which you created me. My angels, ascended masters, parents, gurus, spirit guides, my higher selves, and loved ones. Thank you for this beautiful world. I am grateful to be awake and alive, for the senses with which create my experiences. Thank you for the free will to make my own destiny, for my feelings which help me evolve, for my mind which helps me see my choices, and my intellect to help me discern. Thank you for the situations constantly challenging me to improve myself and align to my higher self, my higher purpose, my life. Thank you for the cycles of life that I witness and learn from and grow through them and expand into deep peace and unbound joy. The more I let go, the more I grow and expand into the divine consciousness. Thank you for showing me that I am a divine being of intelligence, of light, and of love. I choose to work my way, with this divine intelligence, which helps me nourish myself and people around me. I am seeking and finding light. I am becoming light, flowing in the river of joy with your grace, being rest assured, knowing that your plans are better than mine. Thank you for the love you constantly and unconditionally shower, which reflects in all my relationships and every area of my life. Bless me that with your grace I spread hope, abundance, love, joy, kindness, knowledge, truth, clarity, fulfillment, peace, and light. All that I have received from you, being your instrument, I live this life in bliss.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was super. I want each one to be on that mute because there were like a lot of sound coming. So may I please make sure that everybody is on mute and we do not want any disturbance or sounds coming here. Thank you. Sanya, so happy to have you here. So
Happy
to
to see you.
yes. So to begin with our today's conversation, I would like to know that what inspired you to develop a product of your own? What is your product all about? And if you can throw some light on what had you done, like why you made it, and what's your entire journey about being an entrepreneur?
Right, of course. So I think I started when I was very young. And so like my entire like my approach to business seemed like okay, quite logical. You make a product and you sell it. And that was about it for me. Like it was quite logical. Like now I realize, okay, it seems a lot more complicated, but at the time it was very plain and simple. So it started off. I was very meticulous about my shoes. I really liked this one pair of shoes, and my sister and I were walking, and they were like like white shoes that I took really good care of, and we were walking. And by mistake, of course, she went on stepping at the back and stepping on my shoes on the front. She was very young. And I couldn't get angry at her because no matter how much I would tell her, please don't step on my shoes, she wasn't purposely doing it. Even if she was mindful, it would happen sometimes. And like, if I can't alleviate the problem from the source, I find an external solution. So I went home and I tried like rubbing the marks off with soap, with water, with a lot of like a lot of different like little cleaning products around the house. And then I realized that nothing's really working as well as I wanted to. And then that's when I was like, you know what? Why don't I just create something of my own? Maybe that would work. So I think that's how the idea came about of Sneak Easy. And Sneak Easy essentially is a shoe cleaning product. It's natural based and it doesn't harm the shoe. So when the shoe is new, when you get it new, you get a factory finish on it that over over time due to wear and tear, due to excessive cleaning, it starts wearing off and the shoe gets like deteriorated much faster, which is what Sneak Easy like attempts at helping avoiding.
Wow. And where all do you like, when you made that, like, how did you introduce that to the market? Because many people, even like, with the entire team, struggle to market their product. So, like, in today's world, being a 13-year-old, how did you market it? Like, was there any help or you did it on your own? Like, what did you do?
So first, I think YEA, which is Young Entrepreneurship Academy, they gave me a great platform and a lot of resources to start with in terms of help and advice. So I think that's where I initially got started. I first pitched to a panel of investors who gave me like invaluable feedback. And then after that, we took off and we started attending trade shows. We started attending exhibitions. We started like attending a lot of different platforms to be able to start selling Sneak Easy. So for a long time, we were B2C, which was like business to consumer. And then after that, we moved on to like actual retail and things like that. So initially, it was quite slow, like being able to sell, it was like one order once in a while, things like that. And then once we started attending these events and things like that, we got around like 50, 60 orders a day, which we didn't even dream of
Wow.
happening. because we started like, yeah, we'll clean the shoes, we'll figure it out. That was our attitude, like take it as it comes. And then like eventually we started getting more and more orders, and then we built like a proper brand about like over it and things like that. So yeah, that's how it grew.
And so, how do you even now manage to market it? Through what platform? Through what sources?
So I think marketing was mainly like we started off as word of mouth, like guys, like we told all our friends, we have like shoe cleaning, you need it, you like your shoes, come on, buy it. And then eventually we've taken massive advantage of like the social media and the platform it gives us, like especially the reach, because normally like advertisements only reach so far, while social media it can take you like you don't even know where. And then I think actually at a point in time we started receiving media coverage. Like we had a few articles on us and stuff. So I think that also contributed a lot. So our main marketing is through social media. Yeah.
And who manages it?
So my partner and I manage it. It's just both of us that are like in hold of everything right now.
Wow, along with your studies and everything.
Yeah.
Wow. So, Sanya, I even got to know about your going to the underprivileged children and helping, them to study, and at that point of time, developing and helping them with this entire experience of the electricity going. Can you just share like what inspired you to go and teach people? What inspired you for the solar panels? Along with this, along with like, your higher level education and everything. How did you manage even your 10th and everything? Right now we're in 11th, right?
Yeah. Right now I've just started the 11th grade.
Yeah. So how did you manage everything? And can you just share, like, how were you teaching them and how did you come up with the idea of solar panel and all?
Right, of course. So like I started teaching really young. In like the fifth grade, I used to go and teach like nursery children.
Oh,
We used to like teach like do fun stuff. We used to teach them how to make paper aeroplanes, sing songs, things like that. And like it was really young. It was like I was in primary school at the time. So it started really, really long ago. And then slowly it just like got incorporated into the things I do weekly. Like first it was like once every 2 weeks you'd go, you teach. Then I really started enjoying it, spending time with them. They were so much fun. And like it was really fun to like just see them learn, when one about like I have the privilege of being able to go to a school that teaches me. And like I have like it's something that I automatically assume that I'm able to have, but a lot of people don't have it. And I think I realized that because when I walk into class, I'm more of a okay, get this done, get this done, get this done, like study it, and that's about it. While they actually thought of learning is something that's fun. I think of it as a means, like I at least thought of it for so long as a means to do something, get somewhere. It's always just one goal stacked upon each other. Like you do this class as a test, then there's an exam, and there's finals, and then there's next year. And it was just a never ending timeline. And I think I lost the entire idea that, oh yeah, learning is fun. So when I went to those classes and I saw them actually wanting to learn, like having fun moreover in class, regardless of whether the class was fun or not, they like took it upon themselves to enjoy it. And I think that's made the biggest impact. So that started at a very young age. And then since then it's continued all the way throughout. And I think one of the biggest learnings I've also got, like the idea where it came from to teach the underprivileged was that like I think in like the third grade or something we were discussing like a lot of like local issues in class, for example, poverty, unemployment, and things like that. And I was thinking about it, and I was like, okay, what's like the root cause of this? Like, why is this happening? How do you get poverty is caused by the lack of an income. How do you get an income? You get a job. Why aren't people getting jobs? They aren't qualified. How do you get qualified? You get an education. So it was a very basic thought process, but I think it made sense. It still makes sense to me that if you're provided with an adequate education to stand for yourself, there's obviously so many things you can accomplish after that. So that was like the main intention behind it. And then slowly it grew, it grew. Then COVID struck. And like luckily a lot of children were able to switch to online, like the people I was teaching. A large majority were able to switch to online, even though it wasn't on laptops, just like those like small phones. They still showed up to class every morning, smile on their face. Good morning, miss. We're ready to learn. They enjoyed the class. They were active. They participated. And I think that's very commendable because online classes are exhausting, staring at a screen for 8 hours a day. And I have the privilege to have a sizable one, while some people do, some people don't, like textbook hardships, not to mention with the pressure of a global pandemic. So that started, and they were very eager to learn, regardless of whether it was online or offline. And then slowly, like as like we move from like the initial stages of lockdown to like further cases rising and things like that, I noticed like I had like half the strength of the class that I used to. So I asked them like, what's going on? Why aren't people attending? Is something wrong? And they're like, no, ma'am, the electricity goes on going. Like they've stopped supplying it for some time. So as it comes and goes, we try whatever happens. And I have the ability, like I have the privilege of getting an education, having the means to get one, and I want to learn. And there are also people that want to learn, and it's completely unfair to not have like some like to not have the means to be able to have an education. So I was like, oh, what happened? So they explained it properly. The electricity doesn't work. It doesn't like they aren't. It isn't even being provided. And so from there, I was thinking, I was like, I mean, we have to do something. They can't just not have an education, especially in the younger years. It's very important. So I think after a little brainstorming, I ended up settling on the idea of solar panels for a lot of reasons. Firstly, because it's renewable, like it's environmentally friendly. It's and secondly, it's a one-time investment. So yes, it's a sum of it's like an amount of money, but you pay that once and then you're good for the next 20 years. Also, it's low maintenance and it's like it doesn't depend on a lot of like factors except the sun. Except the sun, there's nothing else that depends on. It's very low maintenance. It doesn't even require a lot of effort to install. So I think that's where like the entire idea of installing solar panels came from. And then since then I've been studying about it, like reading up, trying to see what I can do. And then finally I think soon in the next coming months we're going to get them installed.
Wow. So she actually did the research work for the solar panels, and when I spoke to her and I asked her, so how are you planning to fund it? And she said, no, we will fund it, we will start and we will go for the fundraising for that. So we are just waiting for rains to get over. So we will definitely ask Daily Theta group also to help you while funding it, because if a 16-year-old girl can do it and think about their problems and think about how to help them, I guess each one of us definitely need to be at least one droplet of that ocean and that part of that for
Thank
sure.
you so much.
No, whenever your fundraising starts, you definitely need to tell us.
Definitely.
So this all sounds so exciting because, everything for Sanya is like she goes to the root cause of it, why it happened, what is the solution, what can I do about it, and then take an action to do that. So it sounds like a very logical person. But at the same time, there is another side to her, which is absolutely creative. And that side of her is all like, how many dance forms do you do? How many prizes have you won? Singing, dancing. Can you share something about it? Because the list was so big that I said, might as well you only share about it than, me talking about it.
Right. So I've been dancing for the past 11 years. I do 8 different styles that include Indian and Western. So I did Odissi I still do Odissi. It's been very long. I've also done ballet since I was about 4. I do modern. I do 4 Latin styles. So I've been dancing a lot. And then I think after that, in terms of music, I've like always been very interested in music. It started with the piano, like the keyboard. Initially, it was just, practice because it's fun. And then I started learning pieces, and then from pieces, it turns to like creating them, which was a complete different experience on like its own. And the thing with instruments is if you learn one, you can learn them all because it's the same theory. It's just the way your hands move that's different. Everything else is the same. So after piano, it went to the ukulele, the guitar. Then I tried some percussion with the tabla. I learned the santoor on my own. So, and then after all of that, like my theory was also quite well covered. So then I started learning how to compose like my own music. So it's like making songs with the vocals, like percussion, strings, backtrack, everything like that. So it's very interesting, yeah.
Wow, but how do you manage, Sanya, so much time? Being in one of the topmost schools in the town, the Rubai Ambani International School, doing the IB curriculum. And I know majority students, what I have heard of, they are so stressed out to finish the course curriculum. And here you are not only managing your studies, your grades, you are into research, you are into educating someone, you are into participating in the competitions, you are into composing your own music, you are into like managing your Instagram page, you are into developing your own product and selling it. And you are an ardent follower of Bhagavad Gita and studying spirituality. And I guess each one could have realized that when she guided everyone through the prayer, right? I think majority of the adults are not being able to do that. What a young girl can come and guide each one of the life philosophy. Probably she can talk about the philosophy of life for us. How do you manage your time?
So I feel like everything starts with what you think. So for very long, I had the approach of like, okay, I've done it. That's enough. Now, like, done. And then it's very easy to get overwhelmed. Like, it's very, very easy to go, oh, there's so much work. How am I going to finish it? How am I going to do this, that? I can't get it done in time. And then there's always also procrastination and things like that. But I feel like it always starts like I've heard a lot of people say that, no procrastination, get it aside. It's okay to have it. I feel like it's the ability to overcome all that and still get up and start the task regardless that makes the biggest difference. Because obviously, like, I think, oh my God, so much work, schoolwork, this, that, and it's very easy to get overwhelmed. But I think what matters is like the second I think that is just like something like flips. I'm like, no, 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 no. I can do it. I'll figure it out somehow. And I think that makes the biggest difference of them all, being able to tell yourself that you can do it. Because if you truly believe you can, you'll end up doing it for sure. So I think that makes the biggest difference. Also, something that I find like very helpful. So like it's very easy to get tired also 8 hours on the screen and then you study on top of that, so it's your entire day goes in books and then studying and then whatever other work and then maybe like 1-2 hours of dance a day, but that's about it. And then after that, like I got really tired and really drained. Something that's really helped is meditation, to be able to focus for long hours, like long hours, and still work at like your maximum capacity, and then still being able to switch off at the end of the day and then like be fully rested to start the next day. So I think that's really important.
How long can you meditate at one stretch if you really want to go for a longer meditation?
So at a stretch, when mama's there, when mom's taking the meditation, however long she decides to take it, I'll sit. Like I think the longest I've done so far is around 1.5 hours. So yeah.
So, one thing which I remember of Sanya and which I would like to share with everyone. So, when they came as a student to learn Theta Healing for our Rainbow Children class, and in Theta Healing, we always teach even our higher level students. Never when we explain the whole concept of universe and we say the sixth plane are all the laws, and never ever call any law down. because there is an experience Vienna Stibel has written in the book, that how she was like strangled when she wanted to show people that, this is the truth. And I remember explaining these kids about it. And that was a time, because Sanya's entire family has learned. I think probably the youngest is her youngest brother, who was in the womb and used to talk to us and communicate with us from being in the womb, talking to us about DNA and I don't know what all stuff, which was like for you to believe it, for you to go through it. And that point of time, I remember Sanya once she came in the class and she said that, Auntie, maths is always like, I think your dad used to teach you or mom, but mom had delivered the third child and she didn't have time. Dad was not there. She connected in the theta frequency of the brain and commanded the law of the arithmetic to be downloaded, which is a completely out of the box thinking with none of the theta healers themselves ever think. She went to the class of piano or some music and she downloaded and instilled the law of music into her. And she, I think in the maths paper, she scored almost the full. In the music, she got, and she went to her chess class and downloaded the law of logic into her. And one of the activity that they did so effortlessly, which our higher level students can't do in DNA 3 class, was moving object without touching them. And I remember their class, and I'm shifting from one room to other room to get something from them. And when I came back, I said, okay, let's start. And they said, Auntie, we done. I said, did you move object? Yeah, we are done. I said, really? I think probably the object is very light for you, pencil. I think no, Auntie, we moved the books also. So everything, from that time, a crystal is on my table. She'll say, do you know Brazil has this mines? Do you know this crystal is being used for that? Do you know this can be done for that? And future reading, I still remember Sanya because she did, and I was like, what take you so long when you were going ahead in future, and why were you there for a long time? And that answer touched me, and even today I remember, because she said, I went ahead after so many years, and what I saw that time globally, this some problem was happening. So I commanded Creator to change it. I waited till I witnessed it because so many people would have got harmed. And whether to like not letting any little bit of paper to go out in the house, or environment consciousness. I do not know how many words and how many qualities that I have seen in her, like, very grounded. None of the time I've ever seen, the kids having those tantrums or anything. So I think a lot to learn for each one of us from her. I mean, I want to ask today, all of you, how many of you are still waiting to start your journey? And how many of you are still telling that we do not have time? We do not have support. Not even once we heard from Sanya saying that, oh, I require the support. Her first statement was, I can't get angry on my sister because, okay, she is young. Like, I would rather think, what can I do to change it? And majority of us cry all the time saying that, oh, life is so unfair to me. And she's all the time saying, like, oh, life is unfair to you. Let me see what I can do for you. I genuinely want to ask each one today that what are you going to do to make this world a better place to live? What are your excuses not to do that? Is that your age? Is that your time? Is that the money? What is it? If you can see her, like as much as she uses her intellect, that much she uses her creativity, like a perfect combination of intuition, intellect. She gets into meditation, she's learning Bhagavad Gita, she is doing music, composing it, dancing, studying, doing research work. Because she made only one statement: what you think, you create. And there's nothing which can block you. So, Sanya, it's truly, truly a privilege to have you here. Because, like, how not just for the achievements that you have taken, but moreover, how you look at life, how you handle life and the situations of life, like the amount of compassion that you carry in your heart for humanity and people around. And I think without compassion, that driving force cannot come, because then each one is, end of the day, we all have human limitations. We all feel that, oh, I'm tired, I'm fatigued. Like, I mean, how much more can I do? But, for you, it's like every day you look and bring that smile on people's face. I want you to give, if some message to all of them, what would that be from your side?
Um,
Because it is not the age which makes a person, I mean, it is the work, it is the karma, it is your action which makes you big. Like, it is nothing to do with that, how much money, how much, what age the person is, and like we take or we seek advice from them. I would rather, like, I mean, without making it sound complicated, you make life so easy for everyone. So if there is anything, I mean, which keeps you going and which you would like people to have, what would that be?
um, I feel like something I always keep in mind is like I can always think of like a million reasons why I shouldn't do something, you know? Like
Why you
it's so easy just to say, it's okay, I'll do it later, it's fine, it'll happen, it's okay, I'll do it, like, it's okay, I'll figure it out later. Like, there's no need to actually do it. But even if there's just that smallest reason that says you should, then I feel like seize it, you know? Because, I mean, there's no harm in doing something. Like, there's never going to be anything wrong with just doing something for the sake of it. Yeah, it's a little more energy, but you never know where it could take you.
Yeah, so rather than asking why should I do it, it is always about why shouldn't I do it? And then, you start putting, and like I think the second major thing which you shared is always to go to the root cause of it. I mean, okay, this is a problem. Okay, they don't have electricity, but they deserve. So what should I do? What are the ways? Okay, the solar panels. Then what? How do I fit it in? How do I fund it? And then you just put all your driving force into it, right?
Yeah, you know, Sangeetanti, I actually learned that from you only, finding the root cause of the problem. You know, in those few weeks of every Saturday and Sunday, the amount you've said it no is just ingrained in me at this point. Like I've picked it up and I'm applying it everywhere. Like earlier, it was just during sessions, you know, what's the root cause, root cause, root cause. And then slowly you start seeing it everywhere else, root cause of this, root cause of that. And then it's quite easy if you start like, you know, like you tie a knot tighter and tighter, but the second you start picking at it, it's quite easy to unravel. So I think it's something I really picked up from you.
I think, hi, Sani. I think I was just listening in the background, and I think it is so important and so inspiring when you start a journey young. I still remember doing guiding her through the guardian angel reading during the Rainbow Children class. And it was one student missing. So I was guiding her, and we did it through a nice crystal layout. And she took all the time. And when I asked her, what happened? What did you ask? What guidance did you get? She told me I connected to Lord Shiva because mom said that, Shiva sent me here. So I asked him, why did you send me here? What is my purpose of going down? And he told me that I had to change a few things. So I told him, yes, but I'm really small. So what can I do now to change things? And we had a whole detailed discussion about that. And I think her mom kept telling us that This is the only girl who's refusing to go to Disney World because she wants to attend class and not miss it. Can you please just tell her you will do class with her so she will agree to come on holiday with us and not stay behind? And I think that is where, just when you have such clarity at a root level, at literally a source level, and when you've, sort of given yourself the opportunity to grow from there, I think, like she said, it becomes an ingrained nature to sort of see the root cause of something and just look at how to change things around you rather than fuss over them. So it's so awesome to have you here now.
Yeah, Sani, because we have been teaching for years and very few students actually use it, the theta way of living, into their everyday life. Because digging has been something we have been teaching them for such a long time. But they again come back and say, but why did this happen to me? But why
And
me?
kids were never even taught digging. We just told them what it is about.
Yeah,
They were never taught digging as a concept.
yeah. But I think it's awesome, like, how you have like transformed everything around you. And like, I mean, truly, like, because I'm like, I still remember people saying, like, Are to Sangeeta ki chamchi hai. Are she is this and Sangeeta. And then I'm so proud of her. I was so proud of her even at that time. And I'm so proud of her now and always will be. Like, I mean, I want to say yes, like, if at all anyone, you are my favorite student.
Thank you so much.
No one gets that certificate. Like, I know that, it's always and always you. No, I mean, I'm absolutely very inspiring journey, and like, wishing you to achieve still like and do much more. And I think the world really needs the thought process that you have, and it's commendable how you do that. Like even if we can unmute, and like I would really like to clap for Sanya Shah. Like, I mean, it's genuinely like I am like so happy and so proud of you. So
Thank you so much, Sangeeta. It means the absolute world coming from you, really.
no, it is. We would like to hear a mantra or a small prayer or anything, whatever you would like to, like, share it with people.
Okay. If we could all please hold our hands and close our eyes.
Yeah. Okay, let me do numbers.
Purnamida, Purnamidam, Purnat Purnamadatyate, Purnasya Purnavidaya, Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sanya. I know like whole day you had school, you had so many activities, and that's why, I mean, probably we couldn't do it in the morning. And morning would have been amazing. Many more people, like whoever didn't attend, I think they all missed out on for today's session. It was an amazing, and it was truly an honor to have you here. And for each one of you, please, like how we ended today with the mantra, tomorrow, please, like ask many of your family members also, because we are having an amazing person, Dr. Kumar Chatterjee. And he has healed many across globe with the mantras. And he has got his PhD with that. And if at all, if anyone, like, where you can feel the presence of the divine when he sings, it is this person. I think I'm short of words for it, and like you need to experience it for yourself tomorrow with him. So thank you, everyone, and especially Sanya, thank you so much for being part of Sesta, because it feels really good to have you here.
Thank
And
you so much for having me.
thank you, and see you all tomorrow. Thank you. Thank you. Tomorrow will be regular morning session.